So I just want to make clear for all those who thought about coming here on time that I understand that many people have spring break, including my family. And for example, my daughter has a birthday today. That's somewhere, for example, I'd rather be. I will say, though, I have not gotten much humor out here today, Judge, and it's very clear to me that my daughter loves her new iPhone a lot more than she loves me.
I hope that's not true. So in any case, we're on Respondents Exhibit 12, page 182 is the beginning document. So you see where we are, Ms. Fessahaye?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a incident report, subject of investigation, Susan R. Novak, April 16, 2020. I don't know anything else. Is there something else we need to point out about this?
No, we're just going to scroll down to the beige area. You're familiar with this form, right? Ms.
Yes.
Fessahaye? Yeah, okay.
Okay, so now we are at the bottom of page 183. Go ahead.
Thank you. Do you see this beige section here?
Yes.
What is the purpose of this beige section in this form, if you know?
To highlight any potential work rule violations.
Okay. And is this is the specific form for Warden Novak, right?
Yes.
Can you read the second paragraph in that first section there?
Yes. Warden Novak received information regarding the perimeter fence at CCI being incorrectly installed when she became the warden in August 2018. Warden Novak failed to inquire about getting the perimeter fence corrected.
Okay. Now, does that refresh your recollection of whether or not the fence was part of the work rule violations presented to you against Warden Novak?
Yeah.
Okay, and Judge, if you can just scroll down a tick more to, yes. Do you see there at the top of this page, Ms. Fessahaye? Oh, too far, Judge. I'm sorry. It says Warden Novak had multiple sources of information involving a food service worker's misconduct prior to the escape. Warden Novak did not place the food service worker on administrative leave prior to the escape. Do you see that generally?
I see that, yes.
Okay. Does that refresh your recollection about whether or not the food service worker allegations played any part in the work rule violations against Warden Novak?
Yes.
Okay, and Judge, can you go down to the serious misconduct section? Yes, there we go. Okay. Now, you see in serious misconduct there, it says gross negligence.
Yes.
Okay, it says gross negligence or conduct by an employee which causes a substantial risk to the safety and or security of our facilities, staff, and the community, or inmates, offenders, or juvenile offenders under our care. Did I read that part right?
Yes.
Okay, is that the work rule, or what does that signify then?
What you described was the description of how she could have potentially violated what looks like serious misconduct number 10.
Okay. But then there's 3 paragraphs after that, and those specifically name Warden Novak, correct?
Yes.
Okay, the top paragraph doesn't name Warden Novak specifically, right?
Correct.
Okay. Does the term gross negligence, as your experience as both an attorney and in HR and as the division administrator, does that have any particular meaning or significance with regards to a work rule violation?
I'm sorry, I don't think I understand your question.
Okay, my question is, what does gross negligence mean? What's the stand? How do you know that Warden Novak's activity, as described in the bottom 3 paragraphs, could qualify as gross negligence?
I don't remember if there was a definition of gross negligence, but I do know that that was an or statement.
It was a what statement?
It was or, it said or conduct by employee which causes a substantial risk to the safety or security.
Okay, do you believe that this is describing conduct which causes a substantial risk to the safety or security of the facility?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
Sure, we'll move on. I think
Okay.
we got it. So, but we are clear that again, in the gross misconduct, the serious misconduct section, the section for upon which Warden Novak could be fired, it says Warden Novak failed to inquire about getting the perimeter fence corrected. Did I read that right?
I think you added some colorful commentary there, but I would say that the
I appreciate
language
that
that you read was
assistance.
correct.
Okay, and then it also says at the bottom, Warden Novak did not place the food service worker on administrative leave prior to the escape. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, and that's also in this serious misconduct section, right?
Yes.
Also, behavior that Warden Novak could have been terminated for, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, based on your knowledge and understanding of the, I guess to put it another way, do you have any knowledge based on your job as administrator of whether or not the whatever the getting that would have taken to get the perimeter fence corrected could have been paid for at the institution level?
I don't remember.
Can I stop sharing?
Yes, please. Okay. So,
I'm sorry. Can I interject? My phone is going to be dying soon. I'm going to try to get a charger and move to a location that will allow me to charge my phone and still be available. I just wanted to let you all know that.
no problem.
Do you need to do that now?
Um, I've sent my brother to get me a charger, so I will let you know as soon as I need to.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
Go ahead, please. Thank you.
Great. All right. So, now, again, you read the entire packet, and you were presented with the after action report, right?
Yes, I believe a draft of it. I don't think it was final, but I
Okay.
don't remember.
At any time, did you ever learn whether or not there was a security audit that had been done to Columbia Correctional Facility prior to the escape?
Prior to the escape, I think it happened prior to me joining the administration in 2019.
Okay, and that's the main thing that you remember about that, is that it happened prior to you being there?
Yes,
Okay. Do you recall whether or not the state of the fence was in that at all?
I believe it was.
Okay. And do you believe that that audit that took place before you were there mentioned that the state of the fence was installed correctly or incorrectly?
The specifics I don't recall, no.
Okay, but you did know at that time, right?
I did at the time.
Okay. And so do you believe now that the fence was installed incorrectly or correctly?
I don't know if it was in the security audit, but I know now that it was installed incorrectly based off of the knowledge provided by Deputy Warden Weber.
Okay. So at any time, if you need a break, just let us know. We'll be happy to accommodate.
I will let you know.
Thank you. So, at any time, did you take any steps to determine when that fence had been installed?
Objection, relevance.
I'm sorry, could you ask again, please?
Yeah. At any time, did you take any steps to find out when that fence had been installed?
She already said she knew it was not installed. Let's get on to something that's close to this. Did you know if the fence was installed before Miss, what's her name? Miss Novak was the warden?
I don't remember.
Okay, can we show her something?
Yep.
Are we going to mark that security audit? Is that what you're doing? Or is that part of response exhibit 12?
So we were just where we just were in the summary of investigative findings. That'll do.
Okay. So that would be respondents exhibit 12.
And yeah,
Yeah.
this is page 183. Because I think we're pretty close. That's where we're.
All right. Okay. All right, we're back on the summary of investigation findings for this Warden Novak, which is response exhibit 12. And where do you want to go?
So it's a paragraph on the next page starting Warden Novak stated she was told.
Okay, so
There
now
we go.
we're on 183.
Yeah, a little. Okay, you're just on the line. There we go. Warden, a little bit higher. Getting dizzy here. I think we're going down, Judge. We need to go to the
Am I
top.
going the wrong way?
There we go. There we
Okay.
stop. There we go.
All right,
Warden Novak stated she was told by Deputy Warden Lucas Weber portions of the perimeter fence, specifically the stun fence, were installed incorrectly when she arrived at CCI as warden in August 2018. Were you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. And then she stated that no CCI staff brought up the fence or suggested improvements to the fence during budget meetings. Did I read that part right?
Yes.
Okay, and you knew that at the time, right?
Yes, at the time.
Okay. Warden Novak stated she had no knowledge of any other issues with the perimeter fence. Okay, you knew that then too, right?
Yes.
Okay. When asked if it was something she could have inquired about, she stated the fence was installed in 1986 and it was never concerned to any of the previous wardens. You knew that then, right?
Yes.
Okay. And at that time, you knew that Warden Novak was not the warden at CCI in 1986, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, how is it possible that Warden Novak was being, I guess, held responsible for how the fence was installed in 1986?
I'm going to object. That's a mischaracterization of the work rule.
Okay. Can you explain your answer, please, Ms. Fessahaye?
I don't believe that's what we were doing. We were investigating potential violations into work rules, and that was a fact in which we were investigating, and this is what she responded with. So I don't know that you can say we held her accountable by trying to fact find or investigate what occurred.
Okay. Well, but do you believe the fact that the fence was installed in 1986 or something else?
I believe what Sue Novak said.
Okay. So, again, you were aware that the fence had been installed in that position since 1986, and you were also aware that Warden Novak was aware of that fact, and that previous warden had continued to maintain that fence in that state for approximate more than 15 years, right?
Objection,
Yeah.
relevance.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And then you, I guess now let's go back. I'll go back to this work rule violation, just somewhere down in the, because this is only half a page down here. When it says that Warden Novak received information regarding the perimeter fence at CCI being incorrectly installed when she became warden in 2008, Warden Novak failed to inquire about getting the perimeter fence corrected. Okay.
We're on page 183 of response exhibit 12. Go ahead.
Okay. So the gross misconduct is failing to inquire about getting the perimeter fence corrected. Is that right?
This specifies that this was a potential work rule violation. Emphasis on the potential.
Sure, it was potential when it came to you first. That will, and we'll get to what you did with it at the IRT meeting later. But at this point, you knew all of those facts, right? You knew this information that was being written as a potential work rule violation, and you also knew, although it's not written here, that wardens since apparently 1986 were aware of this, the fact of how this fence was incorrectly installed, right?
Judge, I'm going to object again. This is just not relevant. She's not being charged with knowing about the fence being incorrectly installed in the 1980s. That's not what the allegation is.
I have to agree, Mr. Cross, that's not the allegation.
Okay, well, what he's saying is Sue Novak failed to inquire about getting the perimeter fence corrected, okay? So that is the essence of the allegation as you wrote it, right, Miss Fessahaye?
I don't recall writing this. I think this came from our investigators as potential violations.
Okay.
And what evidence could have substantiated the potential work rule violation.
Okay. So I guess this is one of those practice questions, right? Because you were explaining to us before about your practice of getting approval from the Secretary Carr, even though nobody told you to do that, and it was not written down anywhere, right?
I'm going to
Yes.
object to the form of the question.
I don't understand the question either, so could you maybe break it up? Maybe that's the problem. I don't know
Okay.
what.
So when you testified earlier that you knew to go to Secretary Carr to get his approval for certain things, even though you were not required to get his approval for certain things by policy, right?
I'm going to object to the certain things. It's vague and it lacks specificity.
Okay. I mean,
She
we're
said
getting
for
close
high
to it.
level discipline, I think is what it
Thanks
was
for that
talking.
assistance, right? So you told us that you knew without being told or without any policy to get approval from Secretary Carr based on for high level decisions, right?
I don't know that I phrased it like that, but I had a practice to get approval from Secretary Carr regarding high level issues or high profile issues.
Okay. And how is with that in mind, how is Warden Novak to understand that she is supposed to inquire about getting the perimeter fence corrected since it had been in that state since 1986?
I don't think I understand your question.
Well, don't you think that there's a practice at Columbia Correctional Facility since at least 1986 that to not fix that fence?
Objection, relevance. That's not the allegations here.
Sustained.
Don't you think, do you have any evidence that the other wardens had inquired about getting the perimeter fence corrected?
Same objection, Judge.
Sustained.
Okay. Did you, as your role as division administrator, did you ever participate in the biennial budget process?
I'm sorry, did you say yes?
Yes.
Okay, should I stop sharing?
Please. Okay. How did you
Attorney Cross,
participate in that process?
Attorney Cross, sorry. Am I able to, I think I found a location that I can charge my phone in and still participate in the hearing. It would just be about 2 minutes. Is that okay?
All right, you can go off screen and we'll wait for you here.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Judge, I'm going to step away for 1 minute. I'll be right back.
All right, go ahead. Oh, I'm just gonna stop the recording and then start it again.